And hello, everyone. Welcome to Soccer Talk. I'm Bo Williams.
And I'm Greg Rocool, back with another exciting edition. It's been a busy week, and right off the top, before we get into all the exciting stuff that just broke down, just want to let the viewers know that we have another broadcast coming up on Channel 6 in just a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's right. Coming up on Friday, August 16th, we're going to be bringing you the One Knox showdown with I-75 rival Chattanooga.
That's right.
This will be a regular season game. Of course, the two just played, and we'll talk more about that in a second. A cup game. But this will be a regular season matchup, but again, it's going to be a good one. Friday night, the 16th. Hopefully you can make it down to Regal to support the team, but if you can't, you'll be able to catch it live right here on WATE.
Absolutely. We're very excited for that one. And as we enter this crucial, home stretch, this back half of the regular season and then the business end of the cup, really just some really critical games coming up.
Yeah, and like you were saying, really for both. I mean, regular season and cup play. So let's start off with cup play. Just wrapped up a cup game against Chattanooga. The Red Wolves coming into town. They were just trying to stay in it, not trying to. They were facing elimination, obviously, coming into this game. Knoxville still trying to keep pace with the top teams in our group and trying to keep that playoff hope alive, or that next, advancement alive. And this was a tight game. You expect something like this from two rivals to kind of take this one down to the wire and then some.
Exactly. If you look back at the history of this matchup in the 2 years that Knoxville's been in League One, it really has been very, very little to separate these two teams. And Chattanooga up with their backs against the wall, really tight across standings in this group too for the Jägermeister Cup. So a lot riding on this one. Just wanted to make a couple quick notes on the lineup. Well, maybe focus less on the formation here. I think it tends to play out a little bit differently when they are actually on the pitch. But it was a couple interesting wrinkles from head coach Mark McKeever here. Probably right off the top, viewers will notice that you had Johan Garibay making the start in goal, kind of spelling regular keeper Sean Lewis, who is really has been one of the best keepers in League One. But Garibay has been really capable in the couple matches he has been.
He's shown he can mind the store very well. Matter of fact, in our last live broadcast, did a great job in that big win against Madison. But again, he's done well in some of these cup games.
Absolutely. And if you caught our last soccer talk, we spoke a lot about Gio Calixto. Came on against Northern Colorado Hailstorm and had really a match, a man of the match performance. Came on as a substitute in the second half, was able to draw a red card to give Knoxville man advantage, and ended up having the game-winning assist in stoppage time to give Knoxville a really big 3 points in the regular season standings, their first ever win against Northern Colorado. So it was great to see him, the coach back him after a really great performance and insert him straight into the starting lineup. Another thing I thought was very interesting, you'll see in the formation graphic here how James Thomas is listed as a right back, but really how this played out in practice was he was actually playing as a left wing back, which was very interesting to see. What Mark McKeever typically has not typically gone for a kind of inverted player when you talk about the fullbacks, but it was a position that he was able to occupy really well. Still is able to combine really well with those midfielders on the left-hand side. He ultimately ended up moving over to the right-hand side in the second half with a substitution for Sean O'Hearn coming on later. But a couple really interesting wrinkles from Mark McKeever, but a competitive lineup once again. And there was some unfamiliar, maybe had some unfamiliar names up on the bench. We've talked a lot about Leo Santos, the senior at Alcoa. He's been joined a couple matches this season by another member of 2 Knox, the recently started reserve team for the young players. You'll see Dennis Ramirez down there listed among the substitutes. So it's great to see these young players get the opportunity to be in this match day lineup and experience that professional atmosphere.
Yeah, and that's going to help in their growth, obviously, moving forward. Hopefully someday they'll just be regulars as far as the number one team there. But we're going to get right into the highlights for you, and we're going to kick things off for you here in the 8th minute.
Yes, really great start from Knoxville early and often. We talked about Gio Calixto getting into the starting lineup, and we saw a couple great instances of some great deliveries from him. He finds Rudy Castro here, who gets a shot off. Nice save from Chattanooga keeper TJ Bush. But they kept on it, recycled, and are able to find Calixto once again, who delivers, I would say, an even better cross to the head of Kempis Tequila. Almost, I would say, pretty unlucky to not find the back of the net here. But some great stuff early on from from Knoxville and from Gio Calixto.
Yeah, the thing you like to see there, and if you've got young kids out there watching, because you'll see this sometimes, you'll see it even at the top level, but you see something like that, okay, you try to execute, nice save is made, back comes the other team, and you see some guys kind of walking back. You saw everybody on One Knox immediately getting back.
Right.
And that was smart, too, because obviously they turned it right back around, stole the ball, brought it right back for another quick attack. No one was offsides, and they were able to at least get a shot on goal.
Yeah, that's definitely a new wrinkle in the attack we've seen this year. They really have a little bit, I'd say, up to the aggression, played a little bit more direct, whether they're playing out of the back or, kind of on those breakdowns in the final third. And we saw that just a couple minutes later in the 23rd here. A really quick counterattack launched here. They were able to find Angelo Kelly here in some open space after I think it was a set piece and, jailbreak to the other side. We're a lung-busting run from Tequila to get into the final third here. Ultimately, a little bit too wide, kind of cut down the angle, and it ultimately was a save. But like I said, last year it was such a very pragmatic, organized team. You felt like they almost tried to limit the transition opportunities, really to minimize risk of it coming back the other way once they're unsettled. But with the new options that they've got in attack here, it really does seem like they're ready and willing to get out there on the break and kind of hit before the opposing defense is set.
Yeah, definitely can pounce, as we saw there, just weren't able to execute. So we move now to the 46th minute in this one. One Knox nearly break up the field on the left side. Take a look here for a moment. James Thomas. But then the turnover, this is going to result in a shot on goal coming up here. But again, One Knox trying to counter, but back comes Chattanooga. Tough. No foul called there, but Chattanooga again back on the counter, and they're going to get an opportunity here. And again, One Knox though coming up big. We've seen Chattanooga come up big on their end. One Knox coming up big on the defensive side here.
Exactly. While it's been a pretty up and down season for Chattanooga. One thing that they have that's really impressive is that attacking front three, led by Siobhan Marsh and Ropapa Mensah, who you saw get that shot off there that was ultimately cleared off the line by Jalen Chrysler. If you were a Nashville SC fan in the USL days, Ropapa Mensah scored the first goal in Nashville USL history, so it's great to see him kind of continue his legacy in League One now, or after previously playing in the championship. So that's a player near and dear to my heart. That would have been tough for me to see one of my old favorites, notch an opening goal against Knoxville.
Nashville soccer history, just call this guy right here. There you go. All the way up to MLS, right? Hanging with the Nashville teams there.
Exactly. So really exciting first
but
half.
Good to see, yeah. It was exciting to see. It was good, great opportunities by both teams. We saw that, but someone's going to have to break through. Finally happened in the second half.
Exactly, and there was a couple different substitutions here in the second half, and it's really cool to see that they all were able to combine on this goal. You see Frank Ross here, who came on as a sub, bring this one into the attacking third. A nice little cutback here to find Kingsford Ajay, another sub, and finally falls to the foot of Sean O'Hearn, who came on as the left wing back and just fires this one off the crossbar and in. Great goal.
Just sneaking it underneath there. Great placement on that one. Giving One Knox that 1-0 lead in the 80th minute. And, at that point you're thinking, okay, things are looking pretty good here. But again, you got two rivals going head-to-head, so anything can happen.
Indeed, yeah. I just wanted to also include a nice shot from our sports reporter Sam Rothman on that goal at the, the eye level, just to see the power of this one in person. But unfortunately, it was a short-lived advantage for Knoxville. In stoppage time, you see Siobhan Marsh here getting a left-footed strikeout, saved by Garibay, but Pedro Hernandez coming up on the rebound and equalizing for Chattanooga here. But we even had a chance to win it in regulation. A James Thomas cross here kind of leads to a mad scramble. Kingsford Ajay is able to shake one and get a shot off that is ultimately shaved by TJ Buss, and then a clearance, literally the last kick of the game before this one went to penalties. Pretty wild sequence there.
Yeah, we went some 96 minutes in that one. There's that extra time added on. Chance to win it, but as we have told you in cup play, it just doesn't end there. There's no overtime play. You go straight to penalty kicks.
Exactly. So, both teams after the 90 minutes get a point in the standings, and then, that PK is for that extra point in the standing as opposed to 3 points for a regulation win. And given how tight the standings are for Knoxville, that extra point, crucial. And we talked about the late drama in this one. The PKs were not short on drama as well. Both teams made 3 of their first 5. Chattanooga had the opportunity to win it on the 5th penalty, but unfortunately couldn't convert. So we go to sudden death. Innocent and Schutte steps up first for Knoxville and just uncorks a top-class strike into the top left corner here. Not a lot of keepers are saving that one. So
what happened there, the follow-up, Chattanooga had the chance to equalize, but Owen Green misses for Chattanooga, places it up and over the crossbar.
Indeed. Garibay, doesn't want to take any credit, but he gets mobbed by the guys. It's great to see the camaraderie there after a big win.
Yeah, so it was a huge win. It keeps One Knox now in the hunt to advance in Cup play. I mean, you talk about tight. It is tight in this group, that is for sure. Chattanooga's out. You can see them there at the bottom. You got the E, so they're eliminated. But look at the points: 12 for Ford Madison, and you got Lexington and One Knox right there behind by 1 point with 11.
Exactly. It really has been very little to separate these teams. It's great to see Lexington. If you look at their standings in league play, it has been tough for them so far when it comes to league play. But in the Cup, they really have been, on their game. I think they only have one win in USL League One play, but here in the Cup, they've been able to, win 3 of their 6 matches. So,
and of course, the next big matchup as far as Cup play is concerned for One Knox is going to be that showdown with Lexington. This is going to be a big game.
Exactly. I was saying to Bo earlier, pretty much given the standings and with the advantage with Madison ahead by 1 point, basically I would say a loser leaves town match.
Yeah.
Where if you aren't going to be able to get the 2 or the 3 points here, it's I think it's going to be very tough for the loser of that match to advance to the knockout rounds of the Jägermeister Cup. So before we get to that one,
I was going to say the good thing going for One Knox going to this one is our record against Lexington. So you've got to think, hopefully, that's going to play in Lexington's mind.
That's right.
Doesn't matter where the game's played. One Knox has really had the dominance over Lexington in this rivalry. So hopefully the mental game will come into play here as well a little bit and help out One Knox pick up this much needed win.